Pond Offs Anonymous is brought to you in part by McKelvey Insurance. Let's be honest, insurance sucks until you need it. That's why I fuck with McKelvey Insurance. These folks aren't just slinging quotes like robots. They're actual humans who solve real problems. Whether it's personal or commercial insurance, McKelvey works with over 30 companies to make sure you've got the best coverage at the best price without the bullshit. You're not just a number to them. They build real relationships. So when life changes, or your rates do, they've got your back. They'll shop around again and again to make sure you stay protected without ever overpaying. Call or text 618-623-0080 or hit up McKelveyINS.com. That's McKelvey, McKelveyINS.com. McKelvey Insurance. Quick solutions to real-life insurance problems anywhere in Illinois or Missouri. Guys, let me tell you about my good friends at Light Source. Light Source Psychotherapy in Belleville, Illinois is a small group practice committed to providing individual, group, and family therapy, as well as clinical and reflective supervision to those in the helping field. Check them out at findyourlightsource.com. They're the best in the business, my friends. I know them personally and well enough to tell you and put my name and word on it. If you're struggling with mental health, family issues, addiction, grief, you name it, give my friends Chaz and Holly a call. Their private practice is life-saving, and they will help you find your light.
Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to, yeah. Don't know the time, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah, one of a kind, yeah. What's on your mind, yeah. We're hard to find, yeah. Beautiful mind, yeah. Still in my prime, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Pond Offs Anonymous.
Here we are. Do you know what episode number we're on?
Fucking know. 69.
28, if it matters. Does it matter?
No. No, we did 38 the first season, didn't we?
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're rolling. Shane Gillis, how was it?
That was great. That was the best hour I've had of his. It was funny.
Oh, yeah? I heard he chirped Cronky a little bit.
Yeah. I think of him Cronky the Donkey. That was good.
Nice.
It would be really hard to like
rolling.
I've never seen stand up in a place that big. Is it hard to hear them?
Oh no, the first guy was hard to hear,
Yeah.
but I think it's just kind of how he talked. But the rest of it was fine, and then the stage is in the middle, so there's people all around him.
Do you have to put the condom on your phones?
No. I was worried about it. I thought they were going to, but
I had to at Sarah Silverman. I was at Stiefel. And then the Chappelle Rock show, you had to lock them up.
I don't know if they do that for arenas. There'll be a lot of phones.
They did it. The Chappelle Rock
arena?
one. Yeah, it was at Enterprise. It was fucked up, but it was good. Glad you had fun. Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Before we get to you, Doll, I need to touch on something I did this weekend in Denver. Ashley and I went to free recovery in Denver, and it was fucking life changing, man. They it's a church, but it's for church of people that don't go to church. Us recovery addicts, family members of, and spiritual refugees. It was just amazing. They have a really cool setup on Saturday nights in Denver, and got to share a little bit about my story. Plagiarized Jakob a little bit. Talked about the three things in common that all real successful recovery programs have. 12-step programs or just recovery. Programs? Yeah. And it's leading into something we're going to hopefully launch in October, which TBD, and there's a little teaser for the two of you that give a fuck. But it was cool, man. What a church. Ryan Canaday, his wife Tammy, and Carrie McMullen run this place, and they're all going to come on the podcast soon. Really cool stories. They do celebrations at the beginning, and there was a gal going through it that was 4 days clean on fentanyl. So she, and I don't mean to be offensive to her, she looked like a walking corpse. I mean, I think some of us have been there.
Yeah.
But the biggest balls in the fucking room to be there
Yeah.
searching
Did they
and
say something
living.
about that?
What was that?
I don't know.
Was that your fucking vape?
No, the vape was over here.
Wasn't me.
It sounded like you sharded.
I'll check myself.
There's bathrooms over here. You use it all the time. So that was really cool. More on that later. I want to get to our awesome guest, Shannon, who joined us. And
Thank you for having me.
I can't thank you enough for coming. We are 28 episodes in. This one was going to be, I don't know, a couple months ago, but schedules got fucked up. So I've been really excited about having you on. I know the tip of the iceberg of your story and how powerful it is. And I've been looking forward to having you on since we met. And I don't know, did we meet at the golf tournament?
No, I think we were at IRC.
Okay. Yeah, here. You did help us with the golf tournament, though.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, I've
thanks for
appreciated
taking
all the
pictures.
opportunities.
Yeah.
I was getting the pictures while I was in Mississippi, and I was posting them. I'm like, oh, somebody's taking pictures.
Aw,
Yeah, it was
I'm glad
somebody,
I could be of help.
Jacob was golfing.
I was.
Did you work one day and golf the second, or how'd that
I
go?
worked both days.
Oh, that's
one
right.
day was with you.
Oh, yeah.
That was you golfed one
I golfed.
day.
That's right. It was a fun time. The Dotem for TMA. Yeah, we had a table, longest drive, and Shannon helped us on the first day hand out QR codes so people could sign up and follow and subscribe. A lot of people getting after it.
It was another really cool opportunity to be able to talk to people about recovery too.
Yeah, when I'm around, any type of golf tournament like that, where there's a lot of, what's the Instagram term? Imbibing.
I don't know.
You don't know what that imbibe?
Like,
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
yeah.
Shannon just
Doing
did
to
that.
me.
Looked like she was throwing a few back. Yeah.
Is that the thing? Is that what you're talking about?
I think they
No,
hashtag
it's like
it.
drinking.
Oh, gotcha,
I was just doing the hand motion.
I thought it was this. It was like all those like Air Force dudes do.
No.
Do they?
Oh yeah, those pictures.
Oh,
They're like,
okay.
I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
I wasn't
Colonel
trying to
Meyer.
promote the Air Force, but I mean,
Hey, Scott Air Force
hey.
Base down the road.
Yeah.
Adam Meyer, Colonel Meyer.
I don't know who that is.
He's my buddy that was in the Air Force. He did it right.
Shout out.
He scored lower than the monkey on his ACT, but he fucking was smarter than all of us and was in Air National Guard and like retired at 40 and has like 6 fucking paychecks still coming to him for the rest of his life.
Nice.
So who's the dumb fuck now? He gets after that ranch dressing. He'll put it on. One time he tried to put ranch dressing on a steak my old man cooked for him. I thought my old man was gonna stab him in the throat. The fuck are you doing? Anyway, back to our guest, Shannon. Thank you.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start? Do you want to start? Let's start at the very beginning. Where are you
The
from?
very beginning. I'm from Union, Missouri.
Another Franklin County.
Yeah, very small town, like mid-Missouri, about an hour west of St. Louis.
You know who won't sponsor this podcast is like the Franklin County Visitors Convention. If they have a tourist board,
Yeah, they're never.
There's no
gonna,
tourist
No.
board for Franklin County.
There's not a lot of tourist activities.
It's a different kind of tourism they got there.
Yeah,
It's Franklin County Jail.
yeah.
So you're from Franklin County.
Yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Yeah, I moved for a little bit to Maryland Heights from like elementary to middle school and then moved back. So pretty much
Where at Maryland Heights?
like Bridgeton.
Okay.
I went to Pattonville Heights.
I always think, when I think Maryland Heights, I think Pattonville High School.
Yeah.
All right.
So I went to the middle school and then elementary school for a little bit.
And then back to
Back to Union.
rural
Yeah.
Missouri.
Super upset about it. There's
So-
nothing to do there.
Is that where you live now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you two grow up together?
Like middle school.
Okay.
on.
Okay.
A couple grades ahead, I think, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanting to know.
You're a couple grades ahead.
Did
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was like 13 when we met.
Did you two ever make out?
I dated her friend, like my high school girlfriend was her friend.
Okay.
So.
High school sweetheart.
Really?
Oh, no, sweet. That
Easy.
was a lot of drugs.
I'm sure she
wasn't,
I'm sure she
you
thinks
know?
you're a fucking
I knew
winner.
Laurel also.
Okay.
I was in the same grade as Laurel.
Okay. All right. So you've known. I guess I should know that since I'm your minister. I'm doing their wedding. Do you know that?
Well, maybe if you actually fucking sign up for 20 minutes
But
online.
the power's invested in me.
Well, I'll see you there.
Let us pray.
What's it called? It's not a minister.
It's ordained
There
something.
you go.
Ordained minister.
Is it?
Ordained something.
Pastor Pondo.
Starting a church?
Pastor
New
P.
minister?
Somebody called me.
Collar?
Who called me Pastor P?
Instead
so
of Master
scary.
P.
Yeah.
It's catchy.
What'd you think?
I don't know. I'm gonna cut that out. Sorry.
You're gonna lose,
This is from the liberal.
followings, John.
I know. Man,
Cancel, dude.
you can't go after your own base.
Right?
All right. That's the first thing I've said that I'm like, I better cut that out.
No shit, Shannon. Thanks again. So middle school, back to high school in Franklin County.
Like middle school.
Like-
And middle school, I went back to Union.
And when did you get tangled up? And
When drugs.
yeah,
Are you using?
Yeah.
I think that I started doing pills for the first time when I was like 13, but I drank for the first time when I was like 9, and just like
Nice.
it gave me this sense of like belonging and acceptance that I had never felt. Like, quite honestly, you know.
Mhm.
I was always the little sister, and you know, no one wants your little sister to be around all the time. But when I drank, and everyone thought I was like funny and cool, and it just seemed like the thing to do.
This is at 9 years old.
Mhm.
Holy fuck, that's baby shit, man.
You know.
What kind of siblings? I mean, age-wise, not what kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what kind?
Yeah.
Brother,
so
sister.
we're all 2 years apart.
Okay.
I have a brother 2 years older than me, a sister that's 4, and another sister that's 6. So my oldest sister was like 16 when I was 9. So
Okay.
kind of partying with them and learning what life was about. And
Yeah.
I
sure.
thought,
Right. So then you go to high school and it just escalated. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I should gloss. So it's hard to talk about a 9-year-old drinking.
Yeah.
well, I had like a lot of like I guess you'd say like mental health issues too before that. So I was always searching for like an escape.
Mhm.
So that kind of just played into it as well.
When you were little.
Yeah.
I mean, I it's a horrific picture, but a 9-year-old like with a wine cooler or sipping on a Budweiser. I mean, to be cool and like show off in front of the older kids, or were you? I mean, was it worse than that when you were that little?
I think it was like a vodka and orange juice,
Oh,
if
wow.
that
All right.
matters. If that
Really
makes
went
a
for it.
difference. I mean, they were just like, here, try this. And I was like, cool. And after that, it was just like on the weekends and stuff. That's what I was trying to do.
So, I mean, we're talking like third grade, right? Second, third grade.
9, I guess I was like 4th grade.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then so even at that age on weekends, you were having sips or full cocktails.
Yeah, I guess cocktails when it was available. And then when I was 13 and
Your parents know?
I was with my mom, like
Okay.
on the weekends and stuff. So I think her view on it a lot of times was she was very sheltered growing up. So she wanted to be like a safe place for that, was kind of the mindset as we got older and kind of discussed it. And then when I was like 13, I was just like drinking with my friends most of the time and smoking weed. I started smoking and that was just like how I learned to live my life. I was always looking for that escape. I always didn't want to feel my feelings, and I was felt very alone and sad like since I was a kid. Like that's what I could remember, was just feeling very alone. And Whether that was the reality of it a lot of the times or not, I think with mental health, a lot of the times maybe that's not the whole reality, but that's all we can see, and it's a very narrow scope. So drinking and using was a way that I saw and that fixed things and made me not have to feel so much.
Yeah, I mean, that I resonate with.
Yeah, I never wanted to feel. That was like my biggest fear, was having to like have my emotions and process through them. I didn't think you could process through them.
Sure.
Really.
Did you, I guess I could have a therapist as a kid?
No. I think one time, like I lived with my grandpa growing up, and I think one time the school like called him. It's like some concerning behaviors, and I was talking about self-harming and like in letters and stuff to my friends or something, and he was like, don't ever say this again. And like that was like the end of the conversation. Like, beautiful. You don't. And it was kind of like, okay, I'll hide it better.
All right. When did that happen age-wise, if you don't mind me asking?
Self-harming?
Well, writing about it and to where your grandpa got a phone call.
I think I was like 13.
Okay.
It was like 8th grade.
Do you mention your mom and your grandpa? Do you have a relationship with your father?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually live with my dad now.
Okay.
So he was working nights a lot of the time. So we stayed with my grandpa. My grandma passed away when I was 9. So I lived with them and then with just my grandpa for the majority.
And he was working nights and mom was in a different house?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's tough. It's not a traditional childhood by any means.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's sibling older. You're the youngest of 4. So do they have, how did they do with their emotions? Were they self-medicating for the most part, or?
They actually did pretty well. My one of my sisters became a correctional officer for a time, and then my brother was a nurse in the ER. And I'm not saying like your job is everything, but they definitely found a way to cope with their emotions and process through things better than I did.
Sure. Well, I mean, everybody's different for sure, and that self-medicating is, I think, probably a pretty consistent theme of the people that are sitting in your chair on this podcast and people that we deal with here, as you know. So it's tough. I can just, you try to personalize an experience, and I keep going back to 9, and I was pretty fucked up in the head at 9 after some trauma shit, but was never, and I'm wondering, had I drank then, what it would have done. It's hard to compute because you just have this feeling of you're a baby at 9 years old.
Yeah, I look at like my nephews and nieces now, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, it's like, fuck.
They're so precious and innocent. And I love that. Like,
yeah, like breaks my heart looking at you now that the 9-year-old Shannon. What? No, that the 9-year-old Shannon, that's what I'm saying. That fuck off, Jakob. The 9-year-old Shannon, like
it doesn't break your heart, Jakob.
Right. He's like fucking
he doesn't have empathy.
He
fine.
Doesn't have
I'm
empathy.
tormented by looking at you. But
that's not what I said.
I'll just be paid.
Fucking asshole. That's not what I said. But seriously, like thinking of the 9-year-old Shannon guts me that you were even holding a beer or a screwdriver or whatever. Whatever the bartender was serving you. Yeah, it's hard to compute. And I do know just the feeling shit at 9, I was, who knows, I don't even remember how I was trying to escape the shit I was going through, but I'm glad I didn't take a sip of something because it would have probably been even worse of a ride that I've had, because I know the feeling of it being able to mask, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, it seemed like an answer at the time.
Because those feelings are hard as fuck, man. They really are very hard to feel. Yeah. As important as they probably are to feel.
Especially as like a kid, because I think a lot of times now, like people are more aware of like talking through emotions and feeling emotions. Emotional intelligence like is a huge thing and talked about now. But I think a lot of times when we were kids, that was like not the popular thing to do. Like families, I don't know how you guys were raised, but like families weren't like, how does that make you feel? Or let's talk about it. It was like,
You're
you
100%.
know, why, like you have nothing to cry about. Like, why are you upset? Like, stop.
I think it's probably as you said it, it sounded really harsh of what your grandpa said, but I think that was probably the fucking norm. I mean, more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he
Higher
loved
percentage,
me
right.
and he tried.
Don't fucking say that again. They're
He
gonna
tried
lock you
his
up.
hardest in raising me, and he loved me a lot, but it was like that was just the culture then.
Yeah.
That was how he learned, and that was how we were raised.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question I needed a therapist at 8, 9. I had just watched my best friend get killed, and we didn't talk about it that much in the house. It was everybody was fucked up. It wrecked our family, but because we were all pretty involved, but there was no therapy. I did took a knife to school in 3rd grade and saw a guidance counselor who I remember to this day because I think she saved my life. But that was the extent of it. Now, I mean, my kid sees a therapist every other week.
Yeah.
And they're not cheap. So it's like, but they're out there. The market is, which is good. I mean, these kids need it. As we've learned more about trauma. I don't know if Jacob believes in that or not, but
Trauma?
well, just pull
I think he believes in it.
believes in it, but get over it,
Yeah.
Deal
He's
with
a
it.
bootstraps kind of guy. Isn't he?
Yeah, put on your bootstraps, lace them up.
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
I'm a therapy advocate.
Yeah, you're just not a clinician.
No, I used to be. No, I'm not.
No, Jacob's a good guy. You know that. He helps a lot of people, and then when you peel back this onion a little bit, there's a heart in there. Yeah. It's the size of the Grinch's, but
I mean, I think
It grows once a
you
year.
might be my longest friend that I've had.
how does that make you feel?
I'm loyal.
No. How did it make you feel?
It made him feel good about himself, clearly.
Yeah,
It inflated his ego.
Make me feel like I'm a pretty good guy. You know?
One
boy.
friend. Solid ego rise.
Mm-hmm. And do you see a therapist, Jacob?
No, not at the moment. I have
Yeah.
lots of them.
Yeah.
So alcohol, weed in high school, or did
Yeah.
it did like
So
all the
just
way
kinda-
through, or did you get into harder shit in high school? You said like pills and shit.
Yeah. So I remember specifically when I was like 16. So I'd been drinking and smoking and done like some pills or whatever. But like,
Or whatever. That's quite a cocktail for a 16-year-old.
I mean, I feel like that was kind of like the
pretty
norm.
it's
in,
pretty normal in
like,
Belleville
Especially,
and Franklin County.
Yeah, like in the culture that we were in, like that was pretty normal. Like a lot of my friends when I was that age were doing heroin and meth, and we're like, why aren't like you don't even really do drugs? Like it was like I was kind of lame, like in my
Sure.
circle for not doing
Big
harder
prude.
drugs. Yeah.
Man. Did you guys, Chris? We're about the same age. I'm assuming we're a little older than these two. Did you have like meth and heroin growing up? Like I know you didn't do it, but
There were pills.
like
There
it
was
just
no
wasn't
meth.
around.
There wasn't really any meth. There was blow and pills.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, that's what was in.
Yeah, and the pills. The kids I knew that loved the pills ended up on heroin out of high school. But I think there's an element of being able to get away with the pills when you're in high school because you're still a kid.
Yeah,
So you can still milk mom and dad for money because they're more expensive. You can steal it there's less consequences.
yeah.
And I think finally by the time you hit that 18 bridge, it's some kids by that time are out on their own and becomes a business decision from what I've heard from folks that got hooked on heroin.
Yeah.
Thank God I was, I'm just better than you guys.
You had already settled into your drug of choice by then.
I wanted, the alcohol was enough of a downer. I needed the blow to be my upper. No, I remember taking Oxy after I tore my knee up in hockey, and it like, I got sick. I didn't like it. I was like, I'll just do Advil and drink Captain Morgan because I went through a captain phase when I was like 15. me and Eric's sister, we would go through. That was our drink, and then it was like holiday season, so I'd throw an eggnog, and the OxyContin fucked that up. I liked alcohol too much. Is I think what I've learned about myself is I didn't want to fuck up my buzz, but by the grace of God, all jokes aside, because I don't think I'd be here if I took to it. But you're a dork in high school because you're not doing.
Yeah, I was also like in band, and I was like a dork in general too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. She just fucking shots fired.
Right? Yeah. No.
Jeff's a band nerd.
I played the saxophone.
I played the electric guitar in band.
Oh wow, that's way cooler.
Yeah. No.
Were you like jazz
cool.
sax or like?
I played jazz, pep
Ska.
band, marching band.
Oh, so you were a big
ska.
fucking
concert
dork.
band.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm joining a band, by the way. Sorry.
It's really cool.
A ska band.
Don't cut into the. I know your time is limited, so don't cut into the podcast that we're paying you for.
Yeah. No wonder we can't add another
I'll probably
camera.
get paid for the band.
I don't care. We got a good thing going, motherfucker. People are listening, and it's helping people. So it's not for me; it's for them. It's for the people.
So yeah, 16. I was doing like managing, I guess. Drugs weren't like the main focus of my life. I was still doing well in school. I was a good student, all that stuff.
Did you have aspirations at this age to go? Did you go to college after high school?
I did go to some college.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be a teacher actually, but so I had like a friend who I had like a huge crush on, and I was talking to him one day on the phone, and had mentioned how there was like all these pill bottles in my cabinet and at the house. And I was like, he's like, well, what are they? And he's like, I was 16, he was probably 20.
Too old for a 16-year-old, Shannon. Let me judge.
Amen.
Him,
but
not
all
you.
my friends were like older than me.
Sure, right. Everybody else was doing it.
They were all older than me, so to me it was just like normal. Like it didn't seem weird. Now, like I would if I had a 16-year-old daughter.
So now,
that's why I don't.
Now my heart breaks when I look at you as a 16-year-old girl.
I give you a pause. That's
that was well, you fucking cut me off earlier when I walked in here talking about adding another host.
Oh no!
And now you cut me off. Like you don't let me finish.
The off-camera beef.
Yeah.
That's why I want everything on camera.
Watch that my face from one of these whole podcasts. There's so many times I want to cut you off. So the amount of times I do.
So
again, you're doing he's pretty proud of himself. Jacob's dragging me to Vegas this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thanks for being excited for your friend. I mean,
I am excited.
To celebrate him getting married.
Second time he's brought it up how disappointed he is celebrating his friend.
I am very excited. It's just August 15th in Vegas. I mean, I'll just go to the fucking sun next time.
They got AC.
It is so hot.
It's dry heat.
Yeah, but like the second
it's a dry heat. It's 130 degrees.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I went to Vegas a couple years ago.
A bunch of us recovery guys do the bachelor parties now.
I
in Vegas.
walked out of the airport and was like, "This is terrible. Like, what is happening?"
I think I was there in November, so it was great.
That's fine.
No, I'm looking for. You know what I'm looking forward to is I will fucking eat my way through that desert. I love it. I love the.
You got to go to that Wynn buffet. It's great.
I think we are actually.
Yeah.
We have a couple dinners.
Yeah, we got a couple fun things set up. Jacob doesn't do strip clubs either.
No.
What a good man.
You're going to save yourself a lot of money.
What a man of honor. What a gentleman.
That's good.
Pit of sadness.
I feel you. Try marrying one of them. Anyway,
Not
Shannon.
Ashley.
Yeah.
What?
It's very important that
I was
his wife
engaged
is
to
not.
a dancer. Different life, Shannon.
Hey, we all have pasts. She could be a very nice lady now.
I pray for her every day.
That's good.
Back to you, Shannon. Let's go back to your train wreck.
So
Let's get off mine.
So yeah.
You start chasing a 20-year-old
he
that wants
was
your
like-
mom and dad's prescriptions.
he was like, "What is there in there?" And I'm like naming stuff off on the phone. Like,
Did you know what? Did you know what half of it was?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know what any of it was.
Can pronounce them. Yeah.
And we weren't like at the point where we were like Googling stuff yet. Like we didn't. I mean, maybe it was like a thing, but that's not where I was like, "Oh, let me look this up." And I didn't really want to do drugs like that. Like it wasn't like the main like I said, it wasn't the main focus of my life. Like school, like boys, like I was like a typical like 16-year-old girl, probably a little too boy crazy, but you know, I think that comes a lot of times with addiction as well, is the rush you get from being in relationships. So then I was like naming it off, and I'm like, Oxycontin, and he's like, yeah, grab that one. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then like I remember I went to school that day, and then he wanted to hang out with me afterwards, and I was like so excited that he wanted to see me. And then we did Percocet, and he had Valium, so we did that and like hung out, and
Valium.
that just like
Nice.
yeah, so that just like
Can't get that anymore.
The one pill Jeff knows, you know.
well, that was
I'm just saying you can't get it anymore.
I did used
Valium,
to say that was
nice.
like
Sweet, dude.
Hey, it's impressive.
It's a whip pill, too. Fucking impressive. What the fuck those values?
well, I did
don't
say
know.
that was like my drug of choice before I ever tried heroin, because it just made everything feel like nothing,
Yeah.
and I wasn't trying to feel.
When you can't cope, that's a good feeling.
Yeah. So that kind of started like a.
Do you have a value? Do we need to talk?
No.
Okay.
What's in your cabinet, Jeff?
No shit.
What's in your cabinet?
Not that.
Oh yeah. So that kind of started like we would hang out every day after school and like smoke blunts and do pills and drink and drive around, and that was like a.
Just got it. That's the way you said it. I mean, I get
That
it.
was my life.
Drive
I would
around
take
Franklin
him,
County.
Yeah, I would take him like wherever he needed to go to like drop weed off or.
All right, so he was dealing.
Yeah, he sold weed for sure. Yeah. So we would like drive around and do whatever. And that was like my new normal for a really long time. And I ended up like things with him like didn't really work out. I think I probably because I was too young. He always would say like, you're really young. So I don't know exactly. We just like we stayed friends. We had been friends for a long time, but
Trying not to get like us in trouble, because I want to chirp a little bit, you know, but I don't, you know.
But like real names?
No, or just if is this guy going to listen to this?
no,
Okay.
he hates me. He will avoid anything anywhere I am.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just there's things that I'm like, but I don't want to get a DM. You fucking talk shit at me about me on my Facebook or your podcast, you know, and
You know, and I think like
I just was going to say that I appreciate him saying that you're too young, but not doing me still hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think too, like a lot of us back then, like we didn't have great examples growing up. And I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I think everything, like I say, like I talk about it so flippantly, like that's just kind of how it was then. I don't know if he really like, I mean, clearly if he said I was too young, he knew that there was some sort of moral dilemma.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily.
then
the
you
law,
add drugs
but-
into the mix, and it's just like, I think a lot of morality goes out the window.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and to your point, I'm sure this guy grew up in a shit, and you know, and it could become somewhat like normalized. But you do say it flippantly, and I've gotten that sometimes when we talk about growing up in Belleville from people that didn't. But this Franklin County got.
I'm giving Franklin County a really bad name right now.
I don't know.
Not just you.
I don't think you did it.
Just every heroin addict we've had on the show from Franklin County.
You have a lot? We're like a market?
Like the fourth. Well,
There's been 3 of us, right?
I mean,
Who else was there?
Nathaniel.
Oh.
well, I mean, and we had a guest on that talked about
Her brother.
her brother.
Yeah, I just listened to her podcast.
Yeah. So I mean,
Which I love, by the
Yeah.
way, that I was saying about the family members that you bring on. And
Yeah.
it giving like that different viewpoint, because I get even a lot of times here, like at IRC, when there's, I think like 80% of our staff is in recovery.
higher than that.
But all of our staff has been affected in some way. And I think a lot of times people feel like, well, I don't know if I should say anything. Like, I can't relate to them on that level. And I'm like, no, definitely say something, because you can relate to them on a different level and give them a different perspective that we can't. Like, the perspective of like friends and family members is so huge And I think a lot of times it's not talked about as much.
I'm glad you said that because it's so timely for what Ashley and I are trying to do now, something in coordination with our church thing I did Saturday night in Denver. It's basically trying to maybe start a recovery spiritual community church type shit that will call it something different so it doesn't intimidate people, because the churchy language can turn people off for a lot of valid fucking reasons. But I mean, from the top of a mountain, it's for people in recovery and family members of people in recovery. And then we want the doors there's not closed to anybody, but you belong here if you're a loved one of someone in recovery or in active addiction. There's a spot for you.
And there's so much hurt like in the families that doesn't get spoken about, and they feel like almost invalidated a lot of the times from what I hear people say, because they didn't go through it. And I'm like, but you did.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a family disease, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because I do like, there's times where let's put all of us in recovery in a meeting. But I think there's also really important times that we're all together and learning together, because it brings walls down, it educates, and if you come in with a open, and here's Jacob's favorite word, empathetic heart, I think you can really build a lot of bridges that way, not walls. But to your point, I'm glad you brought that up. Did you get that, what I just said? Yeah.
You did good. Right. Good job.
But it goes to the family program, and I don't want to gloss over this. You work here at Illinois Recovery Center. What I want you to give your job.
I'm a behavioral health tech.
What is your primary responsibility?
So making sure like they follow the rules that are in place for their protection and safety, making sure they get to the classes that they need to go to. We'll do like cleaning and laundry and basically like whatever needs to be done. Did I leave anything out?
I mean, you're talking like if there's a job description, you just named it all. But I think the most important thing you do is that
you want me to give you an example?
No, that you're there for. You're there for people that are in the pit. That, I mean, to me, is the most important thing you do is just you're just there.
Yeah.
And what they're feeling, what we're feeling at that point.
I have a really cool example.
Go for it. Okay. If you want to, yeah, please. Just don't say any names, right?
It seems really little, but I loved this moment a whole lot. And I think about it on days when my job's hard. But one time when I had like first started we had a client and he was like wasted. He had just came in. And I like did his laundry and then was like folded it and like went to hand him the basket, like normal job every day, like something that would happen. And I went to go hand it to him and he just kind of like froze and like looked at me. And I was like, here's your laundry for whenever you need it. Like, I don't know what to say. Like I just started, I'm like nervous about like doing the right thing. And he's like looked back up at me, like down and back up, and had tears in his eyes and was like, I've never had anyone do my laundry, not even my mom.
Oh.
And like walked away. And I was like heartbroken. I'm like, oh God. But like just the opportunity to be able to like serve somebody and give to them in those little ways that you don't ever think to give to them. And that's why like service work is so important. Like I work in an NA program, but whatever program or life in general, like serving other people is so important and such like a big thing. And I get the opportunity to do that every day. And that's just one small example.
Of thousands. That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
I know.
We talk about it a lot. The service, it also gets us out of our own shit. When you're pouring it into someone else, it's a break from our own fucking head, which at times is the thing that got us here, right? But I want to get to that what you're doing now. I think we got to take the roller coaster through the hardship pretty quickly.
Okay.
Not quickly, but I know you're getting there as far as you're now with this older guy.
Okay, that ended.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and he hates you now. No, I'm just kidding.
He does now hate me, but for valid reasons. Okay. I was
Pray for him too.
Like a lot of
Let us
us,
pray.
you know, addiction really turns us into the worst parts of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I got in a relationship after that, like I think it was like 2 years, but with somebody who was like severely abusive. It was a very toxic relationship. I was a bad girlfriend. There was like,
It was your fault you were getting abused?
no,
Okay.
no,
good.
I'm
just
saying,
making sure. Just
I'm-
making sure
I
we're
just don't, no.
crystal clear. You go, yeah, it was a real abusive relationship. I was a bad girlfriend.
Oh no, God no.
I deserved.
Yeah.
I deserved to get smacked
No,
around.
I definitely, no matter what anybody does to you, you like, even if I like you hit somebody, like you don't deserve to get hit back. But just PSA. But
it.
I just don't want it to ever
Pretty good
seem
PSA.
like, you know, like that I was like like I wasn't like a perfect girlfriend. I was in the grips of like this drinking, smoking, like this party lifestyle at the time. And I was searching for like love, like I think a lot of us do. We're looking for love, but if we don't know what that looks like, a lot of times we settle for attention, and a lot of times that's negative attention. And that's what feels close enough to love to deal with all the other stuff.
You said it earlier that there's something parallel to, you know, for people, for addicts, for us, that seek that.
Yeah.
Whether it, and I think attention is probably.
Yeah. I'll say all the time that I feel like drugs and men were on par for like an addiction for me, because I got that. I don't know the scientific terms. I'm sure Jacob will correct me, but like the dopamine rush you can get from relationships, the same as like you can get from drugs. So that was something that I was seeking and searching for. I'm curious. I'm kind of nerd out clinically, even though I'm not a clinician. I'll put my light source hat on. Our private practice therapist sponsor.
That's right.
Because you're like, that was a plug.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But is it a dope? Like, is it the chase? Were you chasing the relationship, or when you were even being in the relationship, was that meeting this dopamine rush? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that will chase the person that doesn't like them as much, because I really think there's something about the chase that, or maybe I'm just a fucked up one. I don't know.
I think that like he loved me. Like we were in like a full relationship. I just don't think that either one of us knew what love meant or how to appropriately like express that to each other. And it got very violent and toxic.
How old are you now at this?
16.
Oh, this
was like 16 to when I was 18. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and a lot of our
the older guy?
No, he was my age.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of that was like just drinking, partying, doing like Molly. So then I guess I was like starting to do like Molly, ketamine, mushrooms, acid, just like picking up like more and more like experiences. But just continued to like progress.
Yeah. You were experimenting with harder, different drugs. Was there one or two that really stood out, or not yet? Where you're going.
I mean, like I said, Valium was probably my favorite, just because.
Don't get me, Chris.
Just had perked up.
doing his inventory.
Valium and then like Percocet were probably like the main ones.
Got a lot of anxiety, Chris.
That just really probably stuck out. I didn't like to drink too much, and then I smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Drinking was never like my favorite, and
been there, done that. And you're 9. Why? You're drinking screwdrivers at 9. You're like, that ain't shit.
It's just funny when you hear it from an outside source. It sounds so crazy. I'm just like, it's part of my story.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
That's fucked up. But
yeah, well, now I can like protect and look out and watch out for myself. And
Molly, acid, anything you get your hands on it.
Yeah.
17, 18.
Yeah.
And the relationship you were in, I mean, we all had high school boyfriends and girlfriends. But this one seemed to be, I mean, you bring it up. So
It's very traumatic.
Violent. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if violent's the right word.
Yeah. So that was
Maybe
where
you
a lot
said
of,
it.
like, I developed a lot of my PTSD. And a lot of that formed.
Did you guys cohabitate, or were you still living with your grandpa?
So we definitely cohabitated, but
I don't picture you having like a curfew if you're not home. The street lights are on.
It was like
9:30. You're grounded.
It was like I remember one time like I was doing ketamine, and then like my dad came in and he was doing ketamine, and he's like, "You need to leave." And I was like, I love him. I want to go too, And so we were like living in the car and like living on people's couches and
Teenage girls. For those of us that are fathers to a girl, they become teenagers. I've been taking fucking notes.
Well, and I think that a lot of times too, I'm like, I'm scared if I ever have a daughter because I think about my upbringing. But then I'm like reminded that like y'all have better, like you're like teaching them and they're learning as they get older how like to live healthy lives.
And you don't have kids, yes. If you're, when you ever do, you'll do it differently. You'll be a great mom. I don't think you need to worry about, you're going to, it sounds like, I mean, products of our environment and the whole nurture shit may have been, I don't know your whole story. And I don't want to like shit on your upbringing, but
no,
there was,
my parents did like the best that they knew how to, and they tried like their best.
Right. And I mean, and I kind of know where your story's going, but there's been, I don't think anybody's done more work that we've had on this show than you have. And that's not putting down anybody, but you've done some really hard stuff. And by default, you fucking grow as a human or have a lot of wisdom. So,
well, thank you.
If and when you become a mom, I don't think you have anything to be afraid of. You're going to be perfect.
Thank you.
So 20, you guys are your toxic relationship. How did you get out of it?
Okay. So, I think that, so there was a lot of times like I'd left and then like I'd go back, and there was like it was like the stereotypical like abusive relationship type thing. And then I think the last time we were arguing and he was trying to keep me home from work, and the phone, like, I was like, I'm going to call the police if you don't stop. Like, I was trying to, like, threaten him with, like, 911, and then it accidentally, like, got pressed while we were, like, arguing for the phone. So the cops showed up, and he had a warrant. So he went to jail, and then I was in, like, a very, like, disassociated state for, like, probably the last 6 months. And so it's, like, very PC. Like, I didn't remember, like, a whole lot, but I ended up going to my grandpa's house, and him and my dad took me to the hospital because I was just like suicidal and not responsive and just like very mentally just broken at that point. So I went to the hospital, he went to prison, and that was kind of like how it ended. I think there was like a part after that where like he did take me to my first NA meeting like one time, and then dropped me off, and then we didn't see each other after that.
Okay. This isn't the one that hates you.
No. So I actually got back with him. We were actually in like my longest relationship.
The one that hates you?
Yes.
Okay.
The one that hates you.
I don't know what else to call him.
Yeah.
The older guy.
Well, as long as there's only one.
Yeah. Well, no, I feel like all of them probably like aren't like super fond of me, but I understand. So
he goes away. You're how long in the hospital? Just, is it an overnight thing?
I think it was days? Like one of those like 3-day, like 72-hour hold things. Sure. And then I got out and
drugs and trauma. That's, I think, the combination that winds up at a 72-hour cycle.
Yeah, but it was a cool experience because
Sorry.
I'm just
You
trying.
laughed first. She laughed first. For those of you that are
Everyone should try
think
it.
that I'm not being a like gracious,
Hey,
sweet
got some
host.
good stories. No, but
She laughed first.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the name of that one Van Halen album? 5150. They call it that for a reason.
I have no idea what you're talking
Well-
about. I do love Van Halen though.
You know,
Okay.
5150 is a psych hold.
Involuntary psycho.
Yeah.
You get forced.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, thanks.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
They don't. Well, the
I
reason
see now why you want another host.
there's no. You can fucking barely. Nobody can be involuntary. Fucking 5150 anymore. That's hardly a thing. It's hard.
It's still a thing.
It's still a thing, but I'm saying it's really fucking hard to get somebody. I don't know if you can even say committed. It might be one of those banned words.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. You're the liberal.
What does that mean?
After his word at the beginning of this podcast.
You should see my text messages, my buddy. Anyway,
So we all have it. We all have a group thread.
Yeah.
Got us canceled. So you're out. You get out of the
Next.
psych hold.
can I explain why I said it's a cool?
Oh yeah. Sorry, forgot why we
I don't want
digressed.
to just leave on that note.
Yeah.
Okay, it was tragic. All right, like I remember going in. I had like 2 black eyes and a busted lip. I was like 120 pounds at like 5'8". I was like I said, I was like mentally just destroyed. And so it was sad, but I, for the first time, got treatment for my mental health, which I had struggled with since I was like 8, since
Yeah.
I can remember.
Right.
And I was like, actually, for the first time, because prior to this, I thought I had a very good upbringing. I thought that like my life was very normal and that I didn't know why I was so messed up. Like that there was nothing crazy that happened to me.
Sure.
So why was I this way? But then like as I got to like speak to like medical health professionals and I watched like their faces like and their reactions, I kind of like realized like, oh, maybe this isn't like the norm for everybody. Maybe there is like a reason that I am the way that I am. And for me, that gave me a lot of solace. Like, okay, I did get diagnosed with like depression and PTSD and anxiety. So at that point, I had like something to help understand myself a little more and not just say like that I was wrong or there was something like wrong with me.
That's pretty. I mean, that's a blessing, right?
Yeah. That's why it was cool. Okay.
Yeah. No, it is cool. It is cool. I mean, it can be life-saving when you finally are fucking seen. Jacob doesn't like that either.
Just don't like when you say it, Kondo.
I see you, Shannon.
Thanks.
But when you're seen and you've spent now a decade thinking that you're just broken and fucking
nothing
wired
bad happened to
wrong.
me. What's wrong with me?
They shatter that bullshit. That's probably pretty liberating, I can imagine. So that's cool. The psych hold was cool. All right. So you get out. Do they give you some medicine or some referrals?
They did. They gave me actually a lot of medication, and I actually like totaled my car and got in like a like I was driving to work one day and like completely
what
wrecked
were you
my
on? Do you
car.
remember?
I was on Ativan, Ambien, Seroquel, Depakote,
Jesus.
Lexapro, and I think that's it.
I'm on some of that right now.
Not volume.
No.
But yeah, so I think that I was medicated for all the trauma that I was going through at the time. And then when I got out, it was a little too much to be driving.
Yeah,
I was driving to work on Thanksgiving Day and like my car just like
were
went
you
over
using
and hit
in addition to those?
Mm-mm.
So you were just taking your medications. I don't know what they're fucking giggling about.
Don't worry about it.
I'm just sharing the drugs that I'm currently on.
Oh,
with Jacob.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Prescribed to me.
He's proud of it.
Sounds like it.
Hey, I am proud of it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Keeping me
I'm proud of
in
you.
Control.
Proud of you, Jeff.
So yeah, I stopped taking those after that because I was like in a neck brace, and yeah, it was just not a good time.
Sure.
Clearly. So then after that, I
What?
just got nervous. Sorry.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Think of fucking frickin' frack over here. That'll make you laugh.
Frickin' frack. The was really frickin' frack before, but
Sounds like my grandpa calling me that.
Is this so? Did you go start using again then?
So I had been introduced to NA. I was 18. Went to NA for the first time, and didn't think I was an addict. Like, was like, these people are struggling, and I am not. And so if I would have listened, maybe, but
18-year-olds know everything.
Yeah. So I was in NA for about 3 months. My grandpa died.
Sorry.
It's okay. I kind of just didn't want to like face it or look at it or feel it. And I got in a relationship with the guy who hates me.
Okay, so
We've
back then.
coined him.
Which one?
No, the guy who hates you.
the
That's
guy.
Yeah, the guy.
The main guy who
You
hates me.
really run from your feelings. That's been the theme here.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh yeah. So so we got together and were together for like the next 3 years and just kind of like drank and did pills. I started using again. I think he gave me like pudding with weed in it one time or whatever, and then we started like drinking like syrup, and then
It's a Franklin County edible.
that's a new one to me. So don't look at my drink.
It's like a Timu out of like
Get over
gummy.
here. Got the snack pack, baby.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah, it was weird. It wasn't good.
Just like fucking Bill Cosby.
Can't waste the stems and seeds, so you put it in the pudding.
Yeah.
So we started like making dabs and growing weed and just like kind of just going all out in that area. And we drank and did, Percocet and mushrooms, acid, all the stuff.
Sure.
And so that was just like for like 3 years. And then
So this gets you to your 20s?
yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm like 21. And I ended things with him. I felt like I was never going to be good enough. And so I was like, you need to live your best life because I'm horrible, terrible human being. And I got with a friend that I'd known for a really long time. And he was clean off heroin for a year. And I started living with him. And then I found out he had relapsed on heroin. And so I spent a little bit of time being like, I'm not going to be the girlfriend of a heroin addict. Like, I'm not going to do this. I can't watch you go through this. And then one night, I think I'd asked him just not to do heroin on my birthday. And he like came home all messed up. And I was like, okay, but do you have any left? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it with you. Because I think at that point, a lot had happened. I had not talked to my family. We had kind of like fallen out. And I had been working like 80 hours a week at work. And there was just a lot of piling up, and I wasn't paying attention to myself or my emotions or anything like that. And so, yeah,
That was the first time?
just didn't want to feel. Yeah. And it was fine. And
How'd you do it?
I snorted it. Yeah. And then the next weekend.
Was it instant? Like when you did it, you were, this is the shit?
So
Really?
that wasn't the time. So then the next weekend I was like, let's go get some stuff. And he's like, okay. And he kind of knew because he had been a heroin addict for a long time, but like I didn't know what was going to happen. To an extent, and I'll get more into that. So, we snorted heroin for about a month, and then I was like delivering pizzas and like stopping to throw up and like swerving, and it was like really just like not a good time. And we talked about it and we quit for like a week, and then Dilaudid's came in town, and he was like, we got to get these, and I'm going to shoot them up. And I was like, well, I am too.
Explain that. I don't think 90% of the people aren't going to know what you're talking. Well, maybe
It's a
not
pill.
90. Yeah, Jeff.
I don't know what that is.
It's just a pill. I mean,
The pain pill, strong pain pill.
yeah. So
when you said that, there's people that think you're talking about a person or a group, a band. So the way you said Dilaudid's came to town.
that's how he
So
said
there
it.
were, yeah, so sure. So there's a lot of these pills that are now in town. You guys heard that.
Dealers circulating
Yeah.
them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So you went and got Dilaudid's and you shot them up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep. And eventually, and that was like, as soon as I shot it up, like I knew like that was it. Like that was like the moment where I found like the love of my life, I guess you would say. Like it just felt like a warm blanket came over me, and everything that I had worried about and stressed about in my whole life, like, just kind of like went away. And I was like, oh my God, like this is the answer, you know?
I've heard it described like that before. It's like almost this romance.
Mhm.
I've not just by you, by anybody I know that talks about the way it made them feel the first time. It's like a fucking romance novel, but it's not the end. Like it's usually, the couple finally kisses at the end, or if it's a smut that my wife reads or doing other shit. She reads some pretty nasty romance novels that I found out about. The whole thing. Really graphic.
Actually.
Is this a movie yet, or is there pictures?
You're outing our smut reading right now?
It's just romance novels. It's a thing, man. You wouldn't believe the words these women put on paper. It makes me blush. I thought I was
Oh my
vile.
goodness gracious.
It's so funny. Like some of the most uptight women I know read that shit. It's so.
Yeah.
He's called Ashley uptight.
Yeah.
No.
Fucked up. It's one of her favorite,
Ashley's
Jeff.
great. I don't know.
They
No,
fight
after
over
last
who my
episode.
wife's favorite is. But that's how I hear it described by that first time. And you might have romanticized it the most, the way you just described it there, on what it made you feel like. Which, because
I don't
so
know
many,
what that says about me.
no, I mean, but people say it all the time. Like,
You win.
to your point on people that aren't addicts, people that don't have this disease, why would I ever fucking do heroin? Why would you ever do it? Why would you ever?
And I was one of those people that's like, why would I do heroin and just like not out with my friends? That makes no sense. Like I always like would look at my friends doing heroin. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. And then I think, and that's why I was alluding to all the stuff that was happening in my life, because it came to a point where it did make sense to me. It was like, why not? Like, and
God.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just like I said, by the grace of God, heroin wasn't my drug of choice because I never tried it. Thank God I say that, but if there was something out there that made somebody feel like that, I get it. It fucking makes shit go away, and especially when the pain's too great enough where you're struggling feeling and stuff.
And it looks really great at first, right? Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
But within the first month, I had overdosed and died and been taken to the hospital and brought back and
Really?
Lost my job. Before I lost my job, they told me I was being too slow at work because I was like nodding out. And so I started shooting up meth because I felt like then I would be fast. And then I was very fast, but
God,
I still lost my job because I was like missing work and paranoid, and it just started getting super bad. And,
can we go back to the OD that you flippantly said I overdosed and died? How did that happen? I mean, this is important, and you say like it was just another Tuesday in Franklin County.
It was. So, like, literally, like, the guy that I was with, like, he, like, every weekend he would have, like, multiple people, like, overdosing. And that meant, like, the drugs were good. That was, like, the sick mentality that we lived
That's
in.
important, though. That's what your brain's thinking. And is that something that circulates, like, around town or in the drug community, that people are falling out from, you know, Jimbo's shit, so everybody call him? I mean, is that, I'm asking, chime in here.
It's pretty accurate, isn't you? That's how you know it's good.
That's what
You're not going to get ripped off.
Yeah, that, I mean, that's, we gloss over, we hear this shit every day, but like, there's people that are like, what did he just fucking say? Like,
It really
this shit's
shows,
killing people, so I'm going to call them.
So it really shows like the sickness of
Yeah,
it too.
that's what I mean.
Like,
That's fucking fucked up. And the way you just flippantly said, I overdosed and died, and then got on to something else. Like, it's a fucking life event, wouldn't you say? So how'd you get to the hospital? Did somebody Narcan you?
So, I had, like, they had went in to eat at, like, Lee's or something, some chicken place. And so I did this shot, and I was like, well, I'm only going to do half of it. But I had done a Percocet Xanax earlier that day, and I didn't really, in my head, like, I kind of knew not to mix them, but I didn't think it'd be that serious. Like, I didn't do, like, a lot of Xanax, so in my head, I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And, so I did, like, half a shot of, I think it was fentanyl, and, I put all my stuff, like, back in my fanny pack and was, like, sitting there, and then I woke up in the hospital. And what had happened was, he said he came out and they started driving, and they didn't realize I was, like, not responsive for a while. And then he, like, looked back, and I was, like, purple and, like, foaming at the mouth. And so they dumped a Coke on me or something to try to, like, wake me up. And I wasn't waking up, so they drove, like, the wrong side of Kings Highway to the hospital, and he, like, I don't know if he handed me or, like, put me at the front of, I don't know if he handed me to a guard or put me at the front. We've never really, like, talked about that, but he stole all my drugs also, but I mean, that was kind of to be expected.
It's like a cab fare.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you did save my life. You didn't drop me off in a ditch, so I can't really be mad at you.
Ambulance rides are like $900 now. So
yeah. So then I woke up in the hospital, and I was like, am I dying? Like,
what hospital? You said Kings Highway. Is this in the city? Or just
Barnes. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
I didn't know if
you're
when you said Kings Highway, unless there's a Kings Highway in Franklin County.
No,
it could be, but
no, it was in the city.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So
saying.
we would have to go to the city to get drugs.
Okay.
Most of the time, if you didn't want to, like, pay a lot.
Sure.
So then when I woke up, and they're, like, cutting my shirt off, and, like, there's all these doctors around, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, am I dying? Just tell me if I'm dying. And they're like, no, you're fine. We have somebody else coming in, like, right now, so we need you to leave. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I couldn't remember anything at first, so I had to, like, get my bearings for a little bit before I could even remember, like, my boyfriend's number. And I called him, and he was very mad at me because we were in an argument, and he had to, like, drive up there to get me, and he was very upset about it. And then I went home, and I woke up, and I kept doing heroin the next day.
Tell me it's not a disease.
Right.
So, okay. We could spend a lot of time. It's curious about the way you were treated, and I take it the emergency room.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of people overdosing in St. Louis all the time, so they do need the bed space.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not saying it's right. I would have loved for someone like how we have here who goes to hospitals and
talk to you about
is like
treatment.
Like, you need to get better. Like, I would have loved that, but it wasn't until, like, probably a year later I went to treatment for the first time, and I remember Googling, like, what to do when you want to stop doing drugs, because I didn't understand, like, rehab. I didn't understand like I told you, I didn't really know what I was in store for. Like, the first time that we got heroin, and I was using it for like 3 days, I started getting very sick. And I was like telling my boyfriend, I'm like, I feel terrible. And he's like laughing. And I was like, what? And he's like, you're dope sick. And I was like, okay, yeah, but like I hear you guys talk about it, but I feel like I'm dying. And he's like, yeah. And like just like a knowing, like, yeah, like, and that's when I realized, like, oh, because before that I had like, I would go on binges and stop and go on binges and stop. And at this point I couldn't, like, I couldn't leave it alone. Like, I would get so violently ill that it was like, okay, like, how are we going to figure this out? How are we going to get more? Because I can't feel like this because I've spent so long running from my feelings. So I'm just going to continue.
So you did go to treatment, and how did that, how old were you when you first went to treatment?
I think I was like maybe 22 the first time I went to treatment. So I'd started using when I was 21. And then when I was 22, I started going, I went to treatment for the first time. So like I said, my life just went downhill so fast. I like lost my job, my house. I think me and my boyfriend had moved in with his mom, and then she was like, we're not dealing with this. And I think she finally took us to rehab, and we shot up in the parking lot and went in. And I think we AMA'd that time, and kept using for a little bit. So it was just...
What's that mean, AMA?
So against medical advice.
It's just, it's leaving.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm out. Like,
not being discharged.
Yeah, so it kind of like that happened several times. The last time that it happened was right before, well, I'll get to that part. So I had went to rehab. I had got out. I had went to like a nunnery / like homeless shelter in the city. Like, you lived in this house with a bunch of nuns, and like...
That Queen of Peace?
No, it was called like Ministries of something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I went to this place, this homeless shelter, and I eventually got in at an Oxford house. And I was still using, but I had like convinced myself and everybody else that I was clean.
Oxford House is a big sober living for those that are. It's it's self-governed, right? There's somebody that leads the house, and
it was amazing, and it was an amazing opportunity. But like, I just wasn't ready. Like, I was still like shooting up meth every few days and thinking that because it wasn't heroin, I was fine. Like, this was my addiction at this point, was just like, oh, if you're not doing heroin, you're okay. So I'm like shooting up meth and going to meetings and going to the sober house. I was just like in this very deep delusion of not understanding like anything about like actually being clean or that it was a possibility.
You're still so young too.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, so this time I'm 23, and so I was at the end of my time at the Oxford house. So someone had hit me up and was like, "Do you want to get high?" And they meant on meth, and I was like, "Yeah." So I left work, went and hung out with them, and then it started like this week-long meth binge, and I was just completely out of my mind. And at the end of that time, I got kicked out of the Oxford house, lost my job within the first 2 days. Like, I don't do drugs well. I don't, like, some people talk about maintaining. I'm like, must have been cool, but I couldn't. So at the end of that time, I went to go pick up my last check from my job, and I got pulled over, and they told me I had a warrant out for my arrest from the U.S. Marshals, and I was like, I have no clue what that means. Like, I hadn't, from what I understood, like, I hadn't been in trouble. I had some possession charges from having heroin over the years.
And from the U.S. Marshals?
Yeah.
That's Capone shit.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I was
mess.
like, I don't even know what that means. Like the FBI and stuff is like stuff you see on TV and
Yeah.
movies. And so
I think of The Fugitive.
yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones. Great movie. I go anytime it's on, I can watch it. One Arm Man. Anyway. Harrison Ford's great, man. Don't you think?
I like Tommy Lee Jones. He's great.
He's amazing. So you get so wait a second. So you but I just was a quick aside.
Am I
Most
breathing?
off-topic thing.
Am I breezing through everything?
No, take a drink. Your water.
Okay.
Shannon, you're funny. I do appreciate you more than you know. You're an incredible human being. So you get arrested for what? Just like
So
being
I didn't
high?
know at this time. Okay.
Right, but so they found you.
So I got pulled over.
Oh, you got pulled over. Okay.
Mhm. I was in this car. There was a bunch of water on the floor. I don't know if the radiator was leaking or what. Like all my belongings were in the back from the sober living house because I was getting my last check and I had just like shot up some meth in the bathroom. And of the job that I was being fired from.
No, you showed them.
Gosh. I mean, it wasn't like a choice that I made. It was just something that like, I mean, I made the choice, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do this for this reason.
No,
it was
right.
just like, oh, here's a bathroom,
Sure.
you know? So I left there. We got pulled over and he's like, you have a warrant from the U.S. Marshals. And I'm like, okay. I have no concept of what that means. I'd gotten arrested for possession charges, but in St. Louis they would book you and release you within 24 hours and put a warrant out for your arrest for like the next year or two. Like it never really was
So not
like
going to court or
yeah, like they would make like I guess like a court date or something. I don't know. I never got to that point, but
yeah, and then they wanted.
I don't know
they're
what
like,
actually
we'll mail you the court date, and that was 7 addresses ago by the time.
yeah, I don't know.
That's just how it works.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a big deal to me to get pulled over, arrested. Nothing had ever came from it. And so they booked me, and I'm still very high on meth and Xanax at the time. So I'm still not comprehending, but it turns out that I was being arrested for my boyfriend had sold heroin to a boyfriend that had been in prison for probably 6 months at this point for this charge. He had sold to a girl who'd overdosed and died, and that I was being put on conspiracy for the charge through the federal government. And so, yeah, I was like, oh, well, they'll like, I mean, they have him on camera doing it. Like, it'll be fine. And it was not, in fact, fine. So, that charge holds 20 to life. So at this point,
what was the actual charge? Conspiracy to commit murder?
Conspiracy to distribute resulting in death. Yeah.
Jesus.
So that holds a charge of 20 to life. And so at that point, I'm sitting in county jail, like hoping that, like, you know, I don't get sentenced to that. But at the same time, like looking at possibly 20 to life in prison for the rest of my life. And what had seemed like an answer was like definitely not an answer. It was like the end to my life. And it was something that now that I was sitting in jail sober, I had to look at all the damage I'd done in my relationships, all the boyfriends who hated me, all the family who I rejected and like would not be a part of. I had to like sit down and actually look at that in the face for years. And I was in county for 3 years and there wasn't meetings.
You stood county for 3 years?
Yeah, so I took it to trial because I was like, surely.
Did you? And you had a lawyer, public defender.
Yeah. So I don't remember where was I.
So,
at.
but no, you're in county for people don't like that's.
Yeah. So
That's a
I was
long-ass
like there
fucking time.
for like the longest time, and there was like
And you
no
obviously
windows.
got sober because
Yeah. So there was.
I know they say you do drugs in prison and shit, but
I did meth a year after that I was there.
in county,
Mhm.
how'd you
So,
get it?
Somebody brought it in, and it was my birthday, and they gave me like
Nice,
a bag
happy
of meth.
birthday!
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah. And it had little devil.
I was gonna get you a cake, but all I could find was meth.
It had little devil like faces on the bag, and I was like, well, if this isn't a sign not to do it, I don't know what is. And then like snorted it.
You
like,
snorted it?
That was like
How high did you get?
the delusion. I was so high, and it was not a good time. And I was like, I'm never doing drugs again after this.
And you had a year clean.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that was kind of like I wouldn't have.
Did you get in trouble? Did you get caught? No.
Mm-mm.
Or did they just not give a fuck?
I mean, they didn't know, I don't think. But I mean, I don't think, but
you also had a warrant out for your arrest from the US Marshals and you didn't know about it. So.
Yeah. So it's very possible they knew and they didn't care.
I mean, it's just
I would hope they would do something if they knew. But
like, so how long were you on this meth high?
So it was like a week. And then so my sober date I say is a week after my birthday because give or take.
So that was
that's
the last.
All I know.
That was the last drug you did.
Yes.
And there was a year into this. And while you're on trial, you're in county.
Mm-hmm.
You were in county for 3 years. So that's how long.
No windows, no outside. Like it was just this cement room for 3 years.
Was it your own cell?
No. So there was like 7 on the top, 7 on the bottom.
Oh shit.
And you had like a bunkie.
Did you? So you went to trial. Mm-hmm. How'd that turn out?
So the morning of trial, they offered me a plea deal. They said they would give me 10 to 12 if I pled out. And it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. And I was like asking my lawyer, like, if I'm a danger to society, because they've convinced me at this point that I'm a danger to society and like I'm a monster. Like, okay. So I'm like, okay, so if this, like, how is A and B equaling C? Like, if I'm this monster and I don't need to be out, like, why are they offering me this deal? And my lawyer said, I think they just want the week off. And I was like, just in tears. Like, that is what is the truth of the situation. As far as I know. So
I just, like, 3 years in jail waiting a trial, and the ex-boyfriend has his trial happened? So
he proffered and said that like it was all me and that he didn't really know what he was doing, and he got a reduction of sentence. That's most of the time how it works in the feds.
Oh, so he said he blamed it on you?
Yeah.
Is this the boyfriend, the one that hates you?
No,
that's a different.
I don't know if he hates me, but I mean, I don't think he has a huge reason to, but
do you have any contact with?
No, right. I haven't talked to him since all that.
Okay.
And I'd only been with him for like a month.
All right. So did you take this deal?
So yeah, so I was like, okay, 10 to 12, because at the time I had been in there 3, and I was like, okay, 10 to 12, I might get out like 9 to like 11, and so that would only be like 6 or more years. I was like, I can do 6 or more. What I can't do is 17.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that. And they have like a 90-something% conviction rate, and I'm a drug addict, like
the public defender
with a history of possession and rehab. Like, they're not gonna listen to me. I haven't made a good case for myself, and in that, there was plenty of times where I did sell drugs, and this could have happened. By the grace of God, like you said, it was only this time where I wasn't the one who handed it to her. And I don't have that. And
this poor kid lost her life to this disease. Yeah.
Yeah. And
a real life victim, sure.
But there's plenty of times where it could have happened. So I was like blessed to be arrested and have all of this happen before I was out there like doing that over and over again.
It's a pretty powerful perspective.
Like, really. So yeah, I took the deal and I got sent to like federal prison.
Did the public defender, I mean, did they advocate for you? Was it did you feel that you were represented well or not?
I felt like he did his best.
Yeah. And did he advise you to take the deal?
He said it was completely up to me and to do what I could live with.
I don't know what you say or do in that. I mean,
it was a really hard
you're
decision.
talking about somebody's life, right?
I remember calling my family.
I was going to ask you that too. So are you and your family rekindling while you're in
so
jail?
They found out where I was when I was in county jail, and came and saw me and were like, "Why would you not say anything?" I'm like, I didn't know anybody cared.
Oh man.
Because I was in this delusion where nobody like loved or cared about me. I had a lot of like victim mentality most of my life, and low self-esteem, and I just really didn't think that it was of concern to them. And they were there for me.
But you could be wrong. You could be more wrong.
They were there for me the entire time. Like,
man,
my mom and my dad really showed up and like
Siblings.
were a huge support for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like movie shit. That's pretty. Well,
Is it?
I mean, you are that don't think there's anybody out there that gives a fuck, but they kind of always have.
Yeah.
I mean, see that with people that you work with now, and it just because we put up a boundary or you get a boundary put up on you, it's almost the best way to love someone that you're seeing go down this path. It doesn't mean that they're not. It's just probably, that's kind of what I.
Yeah. So my brother actually, so I said he worked in the ER for a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the times that I got arrested, there was like 20 caps of fentanyl that had like, broke open inside me, right? So I had to be rushed to the hospital. Let's just like gloss over that, okay?
Yeah, we haven't touched on that one.
And so anyway, so my brother was the nurse on duty at that time and like came in, and I was mortified, but
they broke open inside you?
Like the fentanyl or the cellophane like broke. So anyway. Gosh. You don't let me breeze past anything.
No. Where were the drugs? Are you going to talk about this?
Oh my gosh.
So you were smuggling them, and they broke. You were a drug mule.
No, I was like gonna take them to jail with me, and then
definition of drug mule, but
yeah.
I mean, it's
so
why
anyway.
fuck. I was trying to ask. I'm a hard-hitting journalist.
Oh gosh.
Only the hard questions here.
You had put drugs inside you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyway, so my brother was at the ER where I came in. Like, I look back on that now, like how embarrassing and like emotional that has to be when you're already working like your job and you're trying to like,
and your baby
make a living,
in,
and like your little sister comes in and like is skinny and covered in sores and like is handcuffed to the bed, like, and I just didn't understand that anybody could care about me. And now looking back, like he like tried, there were so many times he tried to get through to me. And so many times like my dad called me crying and wondering to know where I was, and that they would bring me food when I didn't have any. And I was just convinced like in my addiction and disease that like I didn't have anybody and I was all alone. And there were all these situations where these people were trying to help me and trying to be there for me.
God damn. Yeah,
so that's just one of the many memories that I look back on as like an example of like how hard like the things that like we put our families through in addiction, and we don't realize the trauma or like mental anguish that
I bet
really
your
put them
brother's
through.
seen some shit in his job every day, but I don't think it'll ever top that. I don't know how it could. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck. So you take the deal, and then they send you, where'd they send you?
They sent me to FCI Tallahassee first.
Okay. So that's Tallahassee, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
it's behind the fence. So there's like FCIs, which is like behind a barbed wire fence, and there's FCCs. FCI is Federal Correctional Institution, and FCC is for a Federal Correctional Camp, and those ones don't have a fence. It's just like you're supposed to stay in there. So lower level security, you can go to a camp. But since I had 10 plus years, I ended up getting 11 years, 132 months sentence. So I had to go to a camp first. No,
the FCI.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to go to the FCI first before they could like deem me like low risk and know that I wouldn't be like a flight risk.
So how long were you at FCI Tallahassee?
Like maybe a year and a half.
I could do a whole fucking episode on asking you how the prison experience was, but was it the worst thing ever? Or
It's not fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good time, like the psych hospital. No, I'm grateful for it.
I've heard you, because I know some of the story, I've heard you reference this as saving your life.
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely.
You kind of alluded to it a minute ago. So
that was where I found my recovery. So within the first year and a half when I was at FCI Tallahassee, I had a pretty good friend in recovery. That's Jakob. That's why I looked at him.
Were you at FCI?
No.
Were you at this all women's prison? This was all women's, right?
So
I don't.
Nowadays, you never know. But
Yeah,
Easy.
he had recommended that I get like a sponsor and work steps. And
How were you communicating?
like the phone or messaging.
yeah,
How did you get back in touch with her?
I think her mom may have posted something on Facebook with like her information when she got there.
Oh, really? And
Shout
did you
out to
know?
Mom.
Did you know what was going on?
Yeah, we're from Franklin County. You gotta know what's going on to your friends and
So you
in
were
prison all
you
the time.
you were clean? I mean, I'm curious how
Yeah.
you like the overlap here.
I was clean.
So you heard she got arrested for this? Yes. Yeah.
I think it kind of was like at the trial, you know. Well, usually when you're in like active addiction, a friend disappears for years. Like you don't really go searching for them. You know.
Yeah, I understand
Like-
that. But
yeah. I think you made the comment several times that like you thought I was dead.
Yeah, usually that's what it means.
Right.
Like if somebody disappears,
sure.
they die in the
God.
city, then you don't hear nothing. But yeah, so I think her mom posted like her information on it's like JPay or some shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
service they use.
So you can fill the
Yeah, so sent her a
canteen,
message.
send some money. So that's okay. Well, good for you. Okay,
I'm a good person.
there you go.
He was one of the few
There you
friends
go.
that I had.
So he reached out to you.
Yeah.
And like, how did that feel?
It was really weird, like, because him and shout out to Shelby too. They were like my friends that like had like reached out and actually stayed connected with me. And after 3 years of not talking to anyone and being like locked in county jail and not really
3 years. Fuck.
having like that connection to the outside world, it was a big deal. It meant a lot to me.
So then you
So
said,
he recommended I get a sponsor and actually made me ask for help. And I was super salty about it. He's like, that's the first step, asking for help. So you got to ask me. I'm like,
you're such a.
That checks
You
out.
have no fucking shame.
That checks out.
How's that shameful?
Yeah.
Like,
He
It
just
works.
follows the rules. He's a very rigid man. Did you know
It works.
before this that he had like his past with addiction?
oh,
At
yeah.
that point?
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
making
Did you guys
sure.
ever use together or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the pizza delivery job, I was fired like 3 months before that for falling
Same
out.
place.
I got him a job there.
What fucking pizza joint is this?
Oh, we can't put that on.
Yeah,
blast.
don't.
Probably every one of them
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
has a similar story.
One.
Very good pizza. Like
It
they had
is good
phenomenal
pizza.
God, you guys.
You still allowed to eat it, or they're like, you can't have this.
I haven't tried going back.
I made amends there because I robbed a lot of money from that place. So in like my
I
second
didn't
year,
know.
I paid it back. Remember their dollar things they had? The little coupons to give like $1 off pizza.
No.
Pocket those and turn them in in the night and have more tip money.
Wow, you were
Smart.
doing more than me.
That's smart.
Oh my
I was
God.
just like
He made amends.
nodding out
I
of
did.
the
I went
sink.
back. I paid up. I rough estimated how much money. It was like $400.
Wow, I
You
bet
gave
they
it
were
to him?
surprised.
Well, good for you.
Make amends. It's the rules. Rigid.
You have to ask me for help. I'm my prison pen pal.
I had to ask for. He was helping me already, like just by being there for me. But I had to ask. For
I can't
a
wait till
sponsor.
Chaz hears this.
He would co-sign it 100%. I'm
Okay.
So
not gonna help somebody that's not willing to.
Chaz
ask
did a
for
lot of
help.
work in prison.
Does he listen to these?
Yeah, sponsor.
So I ask for help, and he gets me connected to a sponsor. And I remember
Inside.
Yes.
Or how did that work?
No, the sponsor
Yes.
was outside. She was inside.
Okay.
The sponsor was.
Well,
this
I mean, that's
man
something
knew.
to touch on. So sponsors can sponsor people that are in prison.
Yeah.
That's
She went out of her way. She was definitely like super helpful because we had to do like phone calls and video visits and 15-minute phone calls, video visits, once a week. She really went out of her way to connect with me and be there for me.
So you got introduced to NA
Mhm.
in this you were in this prison in Tallahassee.
Well, I knew a little bit about it because
Okay.
I had went before.
That's right.
And I
Good.
was like, oh, I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
And then here I am in prison. I'm like, maybe I should have listened.
Yeah, that's a powerful.
Maybe it was pretty bad.
Sure.
So then she sent me the step working guide, which like I'm a big fan of. I talk about it a lot. But the NA step working guide, she sent it to me, and it was August 6th, 2021, I believe, which I wrote in the front, I remember. But that's when I started my like journey of recovery. So I had been clean for 2 years, and then I started my journey of recovery and learned that like it was a lot more than just not doing drugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bingo. It's we talked about that Saturday night in Denver. There's so much work to do. He used this term, which we probably said it 100 times, but it hit me at Saturday night as active recovery, like we'll say active addiction, active recovery versus not active recovery is when you start seeing that's the behaviors. It's kind of how I heard you define it. I mean,
Yeah, like not using is not recovery.
Right.
That's dry drunk or
Yeah.
white knuckling it.
Sure. And that ends in
Using it.
relapse, aka active addiction.
I think the pivotal moment that really I understood that was working on my step 1, because I had been in I had been clean for 2 years, and so going into the steps, I'm like, I don't really understand like what it's going to have to offer me because I'm already clean. So how am I going to admit powerlessness from a drug that I'm not doing? And I was like a little skeptic, but here I am just like trying to follow like what is being told is going to help. And one of the questions it asks you in the step working guide is, how is your addiction manifesting itself in your life now? And I was like, wow, that one really hit me in the gut. Because it defines it as a disease of obsession and compulsion. And that was all over my life. Like the way that I thought, the way that I acted.
Even in prison?
Yeah.
Before, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was still obsessing and hyper focusing on situations and being compulsive. Like I worked out for like 7 hours a day. Like I was like just trying to still be an addict and figure out how to work that into my life. And when it asked me that, I saw all these other areas in my life where I'm obsessively working out, or I'm like scheduling my day down to a T just to make sure like I'm fitting everything in, like I'm still not living life. And it's evident that there's something wrong. And so when I was finally able to break that down and be like, okay, there's something that's not right that I can't fix. And then, step 2 is admitting that there's something that can. And that started me on like my faith journey of like discovering my higher power and developing my relationship with God. That was also a huge blessing that came out of my incarceration.
So you were in Tallahassee while this was kind of this rebirth. And then you alluded to getting out of Tallahassee to the FCC.
Yeah, so I started my recovery journey in the FCI, and then I went to the FCC in Lexington, Kentucky, and that was where I started like my faith journey.
Okay. How did you, and that was through NA, or did you meet some spiritual people? And
I was like super desperate. They didn't have air conditioning. It was,
oh boy.
Yeah, the dead of summer. I was on like the 3rd floor in isolation, and I was like sweating and crying, and was like, everyone was like having visits outside. Meanwhile, I hadn't had a visit. And so I was feeling sorry for myself.
Was there any reason?
because I mean, I was 16 hours away, and then I was 6 hours away, and so I guess I was just far away. So I was just feeling like down on myself and sad, and I just remember like writing and being like, I need a break. Like, please, I just need a break. And I didn't know who I was praying to. I didn't know who I was talking to. I just kept asking for a break. And then someone called in the hallway, and I went out there, and it was a lady with like a cart of books. And on the top, there was an NA book, and I turned it over, and it said, if you're an addict and this book has found you, give yourself a break and read it.
Stop.
And I
That's
was like,
fucked up. Nice.
And I sat in my room, and a breeze rolled in, and I'm just like crying, like reading this book. And I didn't even get through the preface before they called me into. That was another thing. They called my whole group down to go down with population except me. And I was stuck upstairs with like just this deaf lady to talk to, which she is great. And I learned sign language, and I'm grateful, but it was like definitely a struggle. And so they called us downstairs, and
You learned what language?
sign language.
Sign language. Deaf lady. Okay, got
Yep.
it.
Did you call it deaf language?
No, she said sign language.
I heard deaf.
You just I thought I heard you say
There was
no.
a lady who was deaf.
Yeah. No, you said it all right. It was just quick. You breeze
I'm
past
breezing through everything.
It's okay.
Okay.
Because we could, it's fine.
Well, good thing we have you here to slow it down.
No, I'll try. I'm horrible at it, but and then I can get long-winded and make it about me and all that fucking shit.
I do that
hear
too.
about. So you said, because I was still thinking about how you said they took everybody to population and left you. What does that mean? Like they took
Like it was during COVID. So I was in prison during COVID. So you
okay.
had to be quarantined for a certain amount of time before you could go downstairs. So we
Okay.
had been quarantined for that amount of stairs, and they took the whole group that I had came with. So like everything I kind of knew in that time, because that's a big thing when you're in prison, is like the few people that you do know, if you know anyone, it's like a sense of familiarity, which is something you don't get often.
Do you bond with any of these women that you?
Oh yeah, it's like you become closer with them than your own family, because you're talking to your family for maybe 15 minutes a day, and if they have the time that day. And these women you're living with day and night, and they become your family.
Taking care of each other.
Yeah,
and shit like
and
that.
at any moment that they can leave and be like pulled to a different place, and you just have to like cope with that. Like,
It's like,
this person was like your mom or your sister, and they are gone, and you might not be able to ever see them again. And that's just something, that's like the reality of prison that you're signing up for when you decide to break the law or do things that are going to put you there that you don't necessarily have the foresight to see.
Sure. Thanks for sharing that. It's pretty fucking badass to be able to even talk about it. I mean, some people don't, I would imagine, ever talk about their incarceration out of shame or whatever the enemy feeling is of the day. So
my hope is that there's women who, I mean, and men, but who can like see that it's not just a way, like drugs aren't just a way to feel better.
yeah.
I mean, that's how it starts, right? But there's so much pain and struggle behind that you don't necessarily know. And so I just want people to be able to see and understand like maybe a little bit of what they're getting into, if at all possible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to start, because it's just your stories, and it's not done yet. Like you are still, it's in COVID, you're in Lexington learning sign language. And then how long were you in Lexington?
I think about a year and a half.
Until you got
maybe 2
released?
years, until I went to Greenville, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greenville University. I know a lot of people at our church went
It's
there.
a little different.
Is that where you went?
You're not a Methodist pastor?
No.
Okay. So Evie went.
Yeah.
Rugenstone and
I know a ton of
Claire.
people have,
Yeah. At first all I knew was a prison, and then I'm like, now I know all these people that have like are churchers,
Yeah, I
God
didn't
bless
know
him.
there was a prison there.
Yeah.
Because I knew about the.
I know,
Now you
there's
know.
both because I'm fucking worldly.
The more you know.
There you go. Exactly.
So, is it the one off the highway? You can see.
I don't know anything about Greenville except the prisons there.
All right. Yeah, there's okay.
There's a lot of stuff you can see around it, like houses and stuff.
Okay.
There could be a highway.
So you went to Greenville. How long? Were you,
They don't let you walk around the town. I guess. Is that what you're saying?
No, there were some girls who went to college, but like they took like a bus there. You know?
if you're driving down 70, you could. It looks like a little
That's the one on
military.
top. It's all-
yeah.
yeah, you
They
may
got the
know.
big climbing wall and
That's
shit
the-
that I'm like, fuck, I can never go to this prison because my fat ass can't climb that motherfucking thing. And I hate heights.
Yeah.
But if it's a women's prison, I wouldn't mind going. I'm just kidding. So I've done good about not
You have?
doing any women prison jokes.
Orange
Is there
the New
a
Black.
lot?
What a good show.
Orange is the new black.
If
Yeah.
there is some, Chris will
There's
make
so
it.
many. So yeah, so
It's a whole genre on Pornhub. Not that I would know. Somebody told me.
oh my gosh. So that was where I started my faith journey.
Okay, great. I'm
There's
so
a
proud
whole
of you.
genre on Pornhub about that too.
Stop.
So
What's that rule something or other? Anyway,
I'm so proud of your faith journey, and no better place
yeah.
to start.
So when I read that, and then they moved me downstairs, like
Okay.
right after I didn't even get through the preface, and then I was the weird kid, like sitting in the phone line reading my NA book every day, like because I was like, God wants me to read this, and I don't know what's after that, but so I'm reading it, and I started going to like they had like a Celebrate Recovery class, which we just like was more like a book study. We just kind of talked through the book, and there was like a woman who hosted it who had a 20-year prison sentence, and she had just lost her son to suicide, and she
fuck.
was getting up there every day and like
Praising God.
well, yeah, but just like talking about like her recovery and how she got through it, and it really inspired me.
Sure. No, that's
like,
what I mean.
how are you standing up there right now? Like,
It's hard to have a
how
pity
are you
party
doing this?
when somebody's going through that shit. And she was an inmate?
yeah,
Okay. And I was wondering if, because we had a girl we know well, but she's awesome. She's a Celebrate Recovery, I think, minister.
yeah, that's
her
what my
title is.
sponsor does. Celebrate
Okay.
Recovery.
Yeah. And Jacob and I went and saw her testimony a couple years ago at her church. It's she has a real powerful story. But did they have anybody from the outside come in and help with those groups, or was it all done in-house, like inside?
No, they had some pastors that would come in for church and stuff
Sure.
like that. But
So kind of like we do here at IRC on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Pastor B.
Um,
So yeah,
Can I do the women's prison seminary? I'm sorry. I'm a
We'll call it
fucking asshole.
Greenville.
So you did some celebrating there?
So the NA kind of opened my heart to like discovering about a higher power, and then the CR kind of was like, okay, maybe I'll see what like Jesus is about. I'm not really too sure about it. And then I started going to like the church services and stuff, and it was like he was talking to me every time, like through what was being spoken.
Mhm.
And that sounds crazy if you've
No,
never experienced it.
Doesn't sound crazy to me.
But it was like I just fell in love, and I realized how much better life could feel and be, and how empty the drug of the addiction and the love of drugs was. It felt like an answer, but it wasn't. And so I started going to a lot of classes, Bible studies, and just kind of like, because I'm an all or nothing type of person, immersed myself fully in that.
I love it.
And developed like a really good foundation of like my higher power and our relationship that I had never had before. I didn't grow up with like
Sure.
God or anything. Like I knew, of him, but like what's a personal relationship? Like we said, like, we prayed over our food and stuff.
Yeah, right.
But bless us the Lord,
No, I get that though. that it resonates because I did not have a very strong personal relationship with God and Jesus before, and then after out of inside and out of rehab is when I really like dove into that personal relationship. There's a big difference. I get it. So I'm glad you said that. I at least can completely resonate with that.
Yeah.
Have you, and not to, like, I think it's important. Did you, with the person and the poor person that lost their life to this disease that you were charged with, has there been any contact, or is that even a thing? I don't know how that, were they
No,
at
I don't
the
think
trial?
I'm supposed to have contact with them.
Were they on were they part of the trial process?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I just don't know how, that's just got to be horrible.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, I definitely didn't contribute to helping her not use, you know what I'm saying? I never tried to reach out, but I kind of had to come with peace to the fact that I couldn't help myself.
Sure.
So it's definitely been like a journey to walk through that.
Yeah. I can only imagine you could probably write a book one day on the hills and valleys of that journey. You've talked often through this episode about the accountability and the just complete lack of control that, and being you're a different person when the drugs are in control of us and they're behind the wheel. It's like you're not even, it's a literal out of body experience almost.
Yeah.
So I admire the way you talk about it, and I think it's super important because there's a lot of people that wouldn't be brave enough to come on some podcast and share this type of story. Shannon, I really admire you.
Well, my hope is that it can help somebody.
Well, I imagine it will. I know I have a really strong feeling it will. I think the work you're doing now, just that little story you shared about, I mean, that could change the trajectory of somebody's life, being seen because you folded his laundry. I mean, fuck.
You make me cry. The laundry story.
Yeah. So when you finally get out of, how long were you in total? You did 3 years in county, and you got in Greenville was your last stop on the.
It was just about
Prison
7.
Express?
It was a little under 7 that I ended up doing. So yeah, I went to Greenville and I was in like a treatment program for a little over a year and a half.
How did the getting out, like, how did they notify you when you're, did you know for years when your day was?
No, it was a terrible process. So that's another thing, like, you don't think about when you start using drugs is prison, but then like the unknowing, not ever knowing if you're going to do 20 years, if you're going to do 11 years, if you're going to do get out. That is like a lot of weight that you couldn't ever describe until you're like in that situation, I think. But it wasn't even, that wasn't the hard part for me. It was my family. I remember one time my mom, got scammed. That happens. They called and told her I was getting out and they needed this amount of money.
Stop.
And it was probably like a year before I was supposed to get out. And so she contacted all my family, got the money together because she didn't have it. And she sent it. And she kept trying to send it and it wouldn't go through. And then she ended up calling up there and they were like, we wouldn't do that. And I remember calling my mom on the phone and she was like, my baby was supposed to get out tomorrow, and was just like sobbing. And she's like, they're keeping you. And that's stuff you don't think about when you're putting a needle in your arm. That's stuff that you actually have to live through and feel after the addiction, and when you're trying to like put your life back together. Those are consequences that you don't expect. And there's so many times that I talk to clients here and I'm like, you are one step towards walking through your consequences. Mm-hmm. Like you are just that much further through it. And it's
like the end game is this or you don't get brought back on the table at Barnes. So either death or prison is the end game here.
Yeah.
If you don't choose treatment.
Yeah.
Or you don't choose recovery.
And to me, it's like what are the options? Like, okay, at some point you can't stay high forever. You either run out of money,
Sure.
you end up in prison, you end up dead, or you don't. The best option is you don't run out of money and your tolerance gets so high that you can't even feel it and you're not getting high anymore. I mean, name a different choice. Like,
and that's still it runs out.
You
That's
have
probably
to
where you
feel at
overdose
some
and die.
point.
Yeah.
You have to work through your emotions. You have to feel. And it got to the point in my life where I was forced to feel and work through my emotions. And at that point, I realized that they're not as scary as I allowed myself to believe my whole life.
And you had to do it in prison.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you started feeling your shit, which I want to say is
and realizing
all fucking alone.
Why people, hate is a strong word and I joke about it, but why, like, the boyfriend who hated me, like, had these strong feelings, negative feelings towards me. I had to take accountability for all the stuff that I did to people and look at it and walk through it. And I mean, it's definitely a part of addiction is to finally have to face it. You have to at some point. I'm sure you have had to have points in your life where you had to feel it. You had to work through it.
Yeah, I'm starting to. It reminds me of some things that have been going on recently that I've been going through, and it's really hard. And there's always a voice in your head to quit and give up, but there's people that I surround myself with and know that remind you that the best shit in life is probably the hardest, and once you can get through it, it's always better. When you finally got the how did that happen? When you finally got the note or the phone call or some prison guard said, "Hey, by the way, you're free." How does that happen?
I was supposed to get out on I had like a date set, and then
I'm like picturing like an advent calendar. If you have a date 6 months ahead of time, you're counting.
Not how it
hour.
works.
Yeah.
You have no clue really, because there's so many in
but
the
the
feds.
absolute lack of
Yes.
all control is you can't control anything.
So in the feds, there's a lot of programs to like get time off, like the First Step Act. They're credits that you accumulate. So people are constantly going in and checking their credits with the case managers to see how much and trying to calculate their time. And it's like almost like kind of like an obsession for people who have like just gotten in to try to like know that date and figure it out and pinpoint and be able to tell their families. But when you've been in a while, you're just kind of like, I'm not even going to like get my hopes up at this point, because it's like, if I would have went in the treatment program, if I wouldn't have phased up, if I would have said or done the wrong thing and not went to the next level, that would have been a year that I would have had to waited, because completing that program gives you a year off. Wow. So it was always a constant, like, you don't really believe it until you're out. And then there's some times where like my PO will call me and I'll still be like, is she going to arrest me? And it's like, I've done nothing wrong, but it's like, what if a law changes? Like, what if they're like, this isn't a thing anymore? And I think a lot of that is probably my anxiety and not the norm of things that happen.
I think that probably qualifies for some PTSD too, right? I'm not a clinician, Jakob.
But it's definitely a not knowing. I had this one date set, and they kept telling me to go in and check with this lady. Well, the one lady was on vacation. She told me to check with this other lady while she was gone to see if the date came back. Because they had finally sent it off to like Grand Prairie, is where they do all their calculations and figure it out and give you an actual date. So I was waiting for this date to come back, and
like days, weeks, or how long you wait?
It was probably like about a month or two how I had waited. And so I walk up there and she was like, yeah, we got an answer back. And I was like, okay. And she's like, it's next year. And I was like, she's like, you just froze. And I'm like, because how am I supposed to tell my family who's expecting me to come home next month that I'm coming home next year? Like, because then for me, it's cool if I have to face my consequences, right? Like, that's all right if we have to face our own consequences. But, when you have a group of people who have to walk through your consequences with you that never did anything, that's a little heavier for me. That's a little harder for me to manage. So I had to let them know. And then They eventually told me that they were going to try to get for federal location monitoring, which I was going to get out. Oh, and then they didn't have a place for me in the halfway house because there's not a bunch of places for women in halfway houses. There's like 1 or 2 in Missouri. Like it's really like a huge thing that I don't know how they don't address it. But there's like not a lot of bed space for women because, I mean, they have a lot of spaces for men, but not women. And so I had to stay in there longer for that. And then they said, well, there's not a bed space. So all of my team, like my, like the drug treatment specialists, the case manager, the counselors, they all like wrote and said that I would be good for federal location monitoring, which I'd never heard of. But they put in for me to be on a monitor where I give them like a schedule every week. And in turn for, I get out and I get to like live with my family. So they said not to get my hopes up.
That's got to sound like paradise at this point.
Yeah. So they said not to get my hopes up because they'd only had one person in like 13 years or something that that had gotten it at that prison. And I'd never heard of it. And I'd been there for a minute, you know. And so they finally come back and said that they had agreed and that there was a date. I think they said I did some weird like arm flappy thing. It was
I would have done a weird arm flappy thing too.
I was like,
fuck.
So I got to tell my family and they planned and they had like a big welcome home party for me. And
oh man.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's crazy.
Because I'm like getting out of prison. And all these people are handing me like cards with like money. And I don't know if other people have this experience, but I'm like, is this not weird? Like, I don't feel like I did anything. But my family had to like remind me that like I did.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't
survive, man.
Have the experience that I do. And they go into prison and continue the same behaviors. And I didn't.
They never get out.
Yeah, I saw the consequences and was able to be like, I don't want this, whatever that looks like, and like, and actually be able to make like a lasting change.
So how long, when they told you that you got accepted into this monitoring program, until you left the Greenville?
Maybe a couple months.
Okay, so I mean that's months are long. That's a long.
Yeah.
Maybe not if you're used to years, but
yeah. And I was still in this treatment program that like they could pull your year from you at any time. So I was kind of like just trying to like be the best role model I could be, because at that point I'm like a pillar in the community, and they're like, you have to like
don't screw up.
Yeah.
So the day you're leaving, how did that work? Did you sleep the night before, or? I mean, I feel like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah, I think I slept a little bit. I learned when I was in county how to sleep pretty well. Like, just go to sleep on demand. But my, like, best friend, she, like, did my hair the next morning and my makeup. Because, like, that's a big thing because everyone's taking pictures when you get out. And so I just got all ready. And my mom and my sister drove down from Michigan to be able to come pick me up with my nieces and nephews. And so they all came and...
what a redemption story.
Yeah. They all came and picked me up, and it was like they all hung out at my house with me, and we had this party with like my dad. None of us had been together. Like my mom and my dad, like through my incarceration, had like formed up, like they would send pictures for me back and forth and messages, and like actually created like a cohesive like co-parenting relationship, even though I'm like 30. So that was like my whole family back together was like a miracle. And I often talk about that with people of like who don't have relationships with their children or family members. And I'm like, there is like no limit. Like if you start doing right every single day and you focus on that, you will have your family like there will be reconciliation of some kind. Like, I'm not saying like everyone's story happens like that, because some people do a lot of damage in their addiction that can't be repaired. But like, you will continue to live a good life and create other bonds, you know? But like, it only when you're doing right, like right comes of it. And I'm like a firm believer in that.
Yeah, I can get a little Jesus-y here for a minute, but like I think God has a good way of filling gaps. I think you had mentioned, and we could probably do a whole little side episode on this, but there are women you met incarcerated that filled the space of a mom and a sister, of like gaps you had in because of your situation. And
there's women that I still talk to like every day today.
Yeah.
That,
I was going to ask if you still have some relationships.
Oh yeah. Good. Like two of my best friends, Christian and Abby, they were women that helped love me into like my relationship with Jesus and didn't make me feel judged, even though I didn't believe any of it.
Sure.
They just loved me and were there for me. And then,
are they still in or out? Or?
No, they're out.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, I've came out with friendships and
it's almost an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family, my relationship with my higher power, like my recovery, like it was definitely all worked for my good. But I hope that with my story, some people can maybe like avoid having to go through all that.
Well, I think so. And I know, like, I remember at the golf tournament there you were wearing something you're not wearing tonight. Is that accurate?
Oh yeah. I was like, wait.
I'm not getting creepy here. What are you wearing, Shannon? No. You were wearing something at the golf tournament that you were not wearing tonight.
I got my ankle monitor off July 28th. So I'm have a new level of freedom because I completed that portion successfully. And so now I'm on probation for 3 years.
Congratulations.
So I'm walking down my consequences.
Congrats. How did that feel? I feel like a fucking...
He looked at Jacob. Am I allowed to say how are you feeling?
Well, I mean, I could think I'm being a therapist here, but I mean, that had to... you hear people use that ankle bracelet on. I have a fucking ankle. It was like an ankle weight. Like when they shed something in their life, and they say it without the,
Well, I think it kind of hit me like one of the last times that I was going to get it checked because I had to he like checked it once a month, and he was like, you have one more time. And I know I was like driving to work the next day at IRC and just like bawling because like I didn't complete stuff when I was, before all of this. Like I never completed anything. I never successfully did much except use and disappoint people, like that was like how I felt then. And so to be completing this and walking through it and being able to see the end of it and driving to a job where I get to help other people get through it was like just this moment where I'm like, oh God, like I am so grateful, just like tears of gratitude. And that happens so much. And like, I'm sure you guys can attest to like the tears of gratitude in recovery, because sometimes I feel like it just slams into you like nothing else ever could. Just that feeling of like, I shouldn't be here and I am.
I do know.
It happened a lot, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. My sponsor's boyfriend relapsed and overdosed on heroin, and so I was going to his celebration of life that morning.
So you didn't make it? Okay.
No. And he left behind a 5-year-old daughter and my sponsor, and watching that whole family like grieve and go through what my family should have went through so many times. And a lot of our families, like I saw the reality of it play out. And then I went to Intense Camp Out, which is like an NA like fellowship event, and saw like this room full of people who are like miraculously alive despite all of the like
near death. It's
and I was like the whole day just close to tears and in tears and just grateful with the amount of gratitude I have for like life. I had this shirt.
That's the fucking Holy Spirit, man.
I had this shirt on that I got the day before from some random girl. She's not random girl. I work with her, but
it's random.
No.
Random bitch.
She's I didn't want to get into that story. She apprenticed. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna do it.
It's fine.
So anyway, it said, to be alive is a strange and wondrous gift that we often forget. So I was like wearing this shirt and like seeing what we all should have went through, and then being surrounded by these miracles and looking at the life that I'm like gifted to live today, and just like reminded of how fleeting it is and how much our purpose is to like spread our word and our story, and to help people who, so they don't have, their 5-year-old daughter doesn't have to cope with the fact that her dad's like now, you know, not here. Like that is like the purpose. That's what we're doing. Like that's why you know, I'm sure like similar to why you do this. Like you want to help people not have those like destructive consequences. I don't want people to die. I don't want people to go to prison. I don't want them to have to be away from their family.
Amen.
And that's just a huge one of so many moments in my recovery that I've realized how good it is and how good it feels compared to the fleeting feeling of sticking a needle in your arm or taking a pill or taking a shot. Like it does not compare. You just have to wait for the miracle to happen.
I mean, yeah, fucking amen, man. That's pretty profound. And like that, people talk about thin veils all the time when you really feel like you can see God or be close to your, I mean, in this space, like the delicate line between life and death, there's no fucking veil at all. Like you can actually see it. And I feel like that on Saturday nights when we do a little church service here with people that are on day one, between day 1 and day 30, and how close it was to either left a celebration of life funeral or be to FCI Tallahassee that it was that person decided to check in.
Yeah.
And it's never like, it's never something that becomes another number. I mean, there's just, and then the trail of destruction, when this disease takes somebody, they take, like tries to put out a light for each person to shine it. You know, light may have been dim when you were using and self-medicating, but what a bright light you're shining now. And had it been taken, you know, then that many people can't use your light to find the way. I believe in that. So I'm just so grateful for you coming on, being brave and sharing this story. And I know you're helping countless people now and countless to come, especially women that go through it way differently. It's not fair. But it's fucked up. And, you know, to have someone like you that's been through it and that can reach your hand back is pretty badass. You know? Yeah. So you're on probation, and then this is the last step. Mm-hmm. Feel pretty good?
I don't think I can feel the full encompassing feeling of being complete with it, because it's kind of that I've gotten so used to not, like I said, when you're in there and you're got a long time, you just kind of like resigned to like, okay, I'm living what I'm living today. You stop. I mean, you still think about the future, but you kind of just like don't get your hopes up. I know that sounds bleak, but so I don't really like think about like how it's gonna feel when I'm off, just like I didn't with my bracelet. It just kind of like hit me.
Okay.
So I think I'll have one of those moments where it just kind of is like, oh wow, like I walked this down. Like,
yeah, I like how you said that. That's incredibly powerful. I'm gonna ask you one last question, and they're gonna, when they're done surfing braziers, are gonna chirp me. But it's an important question because it goes with the theme of your story. Are you single? Are you seeing anybody? See?
What?
I knew that was going to be the reaction, but it's a serious question. Are you been in since you've been in out? Have you
No.
been in like, so this is, I mean,
I want to build like a solid relationship.
This is important. I don't want to gloss over this because your
Within
whole
my-
story was addiction, and
Yeah.
you said it, men, and like this, you couldn't be alone.
So I've been very cautious. Obviously I'm human, so I don't, I'm not going to make all the right decisions all the time, but
Right.
I've been very cautious and had a lot of boundaries when it comes to like male relationships.
Sure.
Cause I haven't been around men in, 7 years. So
We're all pigs, by the way. We're all fucking pigs.
So, I just try to really focus on my recovery, the career that I'm like hoping to continue in recovery, and my family, building those bonds back with my family, building that foundation of faith out here, because I had it in there, but how is that translating out here? There's so much, and there's a lot that goes into it, and I don't want to disservice myself or the person that I could possibly be with in the future by not taking that time and like doing it the right way, because like you said, like nothing good comes easy. And so I want to like do things the right way today and not have fast fixes, and process through my emotions, and have healthy relationships.
Yeah, and you're building such a stable foundation now. I mean, that, like, I've said this before, and I didn't know it existed until I, met the lucky girl that gets me. But you don't, like, I think I got to a point where I had built up myself, like, and I wasn't going to compromise. In lucky timing, she had kind of done the same thing independently on her own, and we came together. But like, you building up your own life, you're independent. I don't know if independent is the right word, but you're not going to sacrifice anything for anybody. And was a different way that you lived.
Yeah.
Completely different than your first, 23 your teenage years. And then until you, I guess, got arrested at 23, I'm just doing some math. And you were some guy to guy. And it between the addiction and chasing, settling for, you deserve much more, and you're worth it. So that's why I asked, because I've noticed the absence of a relationship in this healing journey you've done.
Yeah. That is definitely on purpose.
Yeah. So I'm proud of you, because it's another thing that you're, recovering from, is like a quick, fill the gap with a person, whether they're good enough or not. And now you're
most definitely. Because as addicts, we can use anything.
Sure.
We can read too much, like I said, exercise. We can do anything.
That's my
to
problem.
Excess.
I exercise too much.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
it's
always
rough.
out there on the fucking treadmill.
So I think with you can do that with a person too. You can you can use them to fill that need of validation in the moment. And I want to have healthy relationships, and I don't want people to have negative feelings when they think about me or anything like that. Like, I want to be like a healthy part of other people's lives today. That's very important for me in like my living amends. So I want to make sure when I'm inviting people into my life, it's for a good, healthy purpose, and not because I need validation or I feel alone or anything like that. Because I think it's very easy to do when you have that addictive mindset.
Yeah. And that's why I think, been talking about earlier, active recovery is doing your work.
Yeah.
And I'm just really grateful that I got to meet you when I did. And I'm really grateful for you coming on here and sharing your story with us and the folks that listen to this podcast.
I hope I didn't breeze past too much.
No, you didn't. This might be the first of a couple episodes. We might have to have you back, because there's a lot we could dive into. But I'm really grateful for you. I know there's a lot of people, men and women, like the guy that you folded his laundry for was. So
Gosh,
you're
you
helping.
keep bringing it up.
It's gonna be the scene in the it's a big scene in the movie of Shannon that we do.
It was so meaningful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This was good.
Thank you.
Really fucking brave.
If it helps one person, it's worth
Amen.
being nervous.
You did great. You didn't come off nervous at all.
Thanks.
And it's a tough topic, Shannon. You're pretty badass. And,
Well, you made it easy, so thank you.
well, did you hear that, Jacob? She's complimenting me.
Just lying to you.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. Do you have anything? Are you guys done over there playing fucking tic-tac-toe? Or
I won.
Just, running a treatment center. Not a big deal.
who's you went in like 9 games, 9 to 10, a series of 9.
Playing Candy Crush.
Thank you both, Shannon. Thank you so much. God bless you. If I go to fucking church, anybody can go. That's what I say. So you always have a church home where I'm at.
Okay.
I'll tell these motherfuckers. We'll
He will literally say that.
Well-
Hey, motherfucker.
he will.
He will.
We will fucking run this shit.
Do you think they're gonna reject me?
No.
Oh,
Is
never.
it the
no.
purple hair?
No, never.
Fucked up, Chris.
You should get orange hair. They'll let you ride it.
They
I had orange hair first.
anybody
Does that
that's
count?
associated with me,
Okay.
they question. No, it's a great place. We're gonna fucking start our own deal, a little recovery shit. So
Yeah.
I'll talk to you. I'll recruit you on that a little bit later. We need all the help we can get. Right, Jacob?
What it means is he's going to pressure you, make you say yes before you say any words at all.
Bingo.
You'll just start getting these emails all the time.
See you
Okay.
Wednesday. All right, you're in. All right, thanks, Shannon.
She's like, I don't know.
All right, thank you so much to Shannon.
We'll
What a
talk
fucking
about the
story.
details.
You got it. Devil's in the details. All right, thanks everyone. Let us pray.